What's up, fellow Saiyans and Saiyets? Now, unless you've been living under a rock, or maybe your body got swapped with a Namekian bullfrog that just so happens to be the captain of the Ginyu Force, and you no longer have thumbs, chances are you've heard about the news that has the internet going crazy. Now, I am here to let you guys know what's really going on. Dragon Ball Super is rumored to be coming to an end. I just want all of you guys right now to calm down, relax. Dragon Ball Super isn't going anywhere. Well, let me rephrase that. Dragon Ball isn't going anywhere. While I can't guarantee you that Dragon Ball Super isn't ending, I can guarantee you that Dragon Ball as the series is not ending. It just would not make any type of sense. Not only do we have plenty of information and plenty of facts to back up this statement that Dragon Ball isn't going anywhere, also, for you adults watching this video, let's use common sense. I know a lot of the kids might not know how the world works, but us adults know money makes the world go round. Dragon Ball Super just so happens to be a very profitable show. They're doing good on merchandise sales, and everything is just going good for Dragon Ball Super. Actually, I believe recently it's really hit its stride. It was kind of slow for me at some points, but it really hit its stride recently. And why would you just go out when you're on top of the game? But yeah, this is one of those stories that the internet takes. They get a little morsel of information and they run wild with it. There is no confirmation that Dragon Ball will be ending, yet everyone acts like it is the end of the world. We will never see Vegeta or Goku in another epic adventure. We will no longer see the fights. We will no longer ever have the chance to maybe see Gohan redeem himself, or of course to see Yamcha become the most powerful person in the entire universe. One thing about Dragon Ball Super is, you can say what you want about it, it is doing a very good job of setting up the groundwork. They are universe building in this series. And I don't mean that literally by how they introduce you to all these different universes. I'm just saying that it's building the groundwork for so many things that can happen in the future. Now, a lot of you like the Marvel movies. A lot of, the MCU movies, your Iron Mans, your Captain Americas, your Civil Wars, all that. Those movies do a good job of universe building so everything can come together as a whole. What Dragon Ball Super did best for me is it opened up so many different realms of possibilities of what could happen in the future. Will we see Vegeta maybe go bad? Or he wouldn't be bad to me, that's my favorite character, but will we see him maybe actually go to one of the universes where the Saiyan planet is still intact and hasn't been destroyed by Frieza and try to become the prince of those Saiyans? Who knows? There's just so many possibilities that Dragon Ball Super has set up with all these different universes that it would make no sense for them to set all this up and then for it to just go away just like that. But Dragon Ball Super is going on a hiatus in March. That is indeed true. We all know it to be true. It's already been confirmed. The only thing that's not been confirmed is that Dragon Ball as a whole will never come back. Also, for those of you who don't know, in December there will be a Dragon Ball movie. I don't know if you could consider Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball whatnot. There is a Dragon Ball movie coming out in December. It's already been confirmed, and I believe it's supposed to highlight like the original Saiyans and like the Saiyan Civil War. And I mean, like, this is deep cuts, fellas. This goes back to before King Vegeta, before Bardock, and all those different cool characters that we like. This is supposed to show you the original Super Saiyan. No, he wasn't Broly. No, he wasn't Bardock like on that What If scenario. It's supposed to highlight the original Super Saiyan and like the original conflicts going on the Saiyan planet, and that will be amazing. We all love Saiyans. Who doesn't? And I always felt like they needed more of a backstory. Even though they fleshed it out a little bit, there's so much room there that they could do so much more with it. And I cannot wait for that movie in December. Now, a lot of you may already know that bit of information, but a lot of you will not know this information. Now, I follow movies a lot. Movies come out, and a lot of the things that you have to pay attention to, there's little things. Sometimes a movie company might apply for a domain name, and you kind of have to, you know, nothing's set in stone, but a lot of times you can see where they're going with it. Dragon Ball, when it applied for the domain name for this movie coming out in December, it also applied for 2 more domain names, which leads me to believe, and if you can look around and do a little bit of research, I believe there will be 3 Dragon Ball movies coming in 2018. If not 3, at least 2, and maybe another one coming at the beginning of 2019. But 2018, I believe we will at least see 2 Dragon Ball movies. Now, did Dragon Ball Super go on a hiatus just to give us, or to give them a chance to work on these movies, or what? Who knows? I mean, that's one thing I can't tell you. I do know that in life with these things like this, it's never a bad thing to go away for a little while. Look at music artists. Like, I'm just throw 2 out there. Look at Kendrick Lamar and Katy Perry. Now, you hear them on the radio all the time, but then they disappear for a few months, you know, so you don't get tired of them. You don't get overwhelmed with it. You don't get oversaturated with it, and it makes you miss them, and then they come back and drop another album. That's what Dragon Ball, I feel, is going to do. It's going to go on a hiatus for a little while, and then it's going to come back, boom, full force. It'll either be Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball, insert name here, Dragon Ball Universes. Who knows what it's going to be, but it's coming back. But I believe it's going to be a good thing that it goes away for a little while, because I feel like Dragon Ball Super has room for a lot of improvements. Now, one thing that I can say about Dragon Ball Super is it's definitely not as good as Dragon Ball Z, but also, even though the tournaments are awesome, they're really cool, I think I'm ready to see something kind of like Dragon Ball Z, when there was like threats, and, you know, Goku's gone for a little while, so the Z fighters have to stand up and fight, and you know how Dragon Ball Z went. But one thing they really can improve on is the animation. Now, the animation has gotten better, but I feel like the character designs for a lot of the people on Dragon Ball Super are just uninspired. They're not that creative. You know, they really didn't take that much time creating these characters. When you think of Cell, when you think of Frieza, when you think of Majin Buu, those are like people that you will always see, like the silhouette of them in your head, and you know who they are. They will always be imprinted, and they're really unique and different looking characters. While Dragon Ball Super villains seem, well, not necessarily villains, but the Dragon Ball Super characters seem somewhat unoriginal and just uninspired to me. But one thing I do know for sure is that the animation team on Dragon Ball Super will not be coming back when the series comes back. It's actually rumored that they're looking around for a new animation team with some new good creative ideas, and I feel like that will be perfect for Super, or for Dragon Ball period, because they've been listening to us and listening to our complaints. And my main complaint would be just the character design, and the animation could be a little bit better for sure. Now, of course, you can get caught up in the hype and just the fluster of the internet. We all do, so I can't blame you. But a lot of these big YouTube channels and just news outlets period, they take a little bit of information, they run wild with it, they blow it out of proportion, and they turn it into something it's not. Listen, there's 2 major factors that you need to know. 1, Dragon Ball Super has been very successful, very lucrative. The toy sales are going good. Even here in the US, when I go to Toys R Us and stuff, they're now starting to put in Dragon Ball Super action figures and merchandise. The new Dragon Ball Fighter Z just came out a couple days ago. It's just going really good for them. So that's one factor. One, it's lucrative, successful. People are watching it over in Japan. The whole world is tuned into Dragon Ball Super. And for two, the creator of the show himself has already stated, just I think last year or the year before, I believe it was last year, he already stated that he is nowhere near the end of his Dragon Ball storytelling. That he has plenty of left in the gas tank. Now, for me, I don't mind something going away for a little while if it means when it comes back it's going to be even better or just as good. Sometimes people need a second to just sit back and get things together. I mean, I think Dragon Ball Super has really spoiled us because we're just getting episodes back to back to back to back to back without waiting. But I want you guys who live here in the US, go back to your childhood. I started watching Dragon Ball Z when I was in like 2nd grade. I didn't see the ending of Dragon Ball Z until I was like, what, like already almost in, I think, high school. Like, it literally stretched out that long. You would watch, they would, for instance, air the Namek saga, and then you would have to wait months just to get a few, like, maybe 10 more episodes. People have just become so spoiled, they can't wait for anything. Me, I can wait. Dragon Ball Z, even though it's been out longer overseas than here, it was gone for like 20 years, and I never in my wildest dreams thought it would come back. And then when they make Dragon Ball Super, like, my mind was blown. But those are the two factors that you need to just those two factors. You put 2 and 2 together, what does that tell you? The show's successful, the creator wants it to keep going, has plenty more stories to tell, therefore why wouldn't it go on? Also, we have a director and a producer of Dragon Ball Super who are said in an interview that there is years and years of Dragon Ball to come. So what makes you think that it's just going to abruptly end out of nowhere at the height of its success? They're just going to take it away and you're never going to see a Saiyan on screen again. That is not going to happen. And if you get caught up thinking that, please use your common sense. Please. Honestly, it took me about 10 minutes to sit down, do a little bit of research, and I feel much better now because, yes, I got caught in the hype and I just thought it was going to be over forever. After 10 minutes of research, I realized that is complete, utter bull. But anyway, yeah, so we have all those factors that's coming into play showing us that it's not going anywhere. Also, just like I was mentioning earlier, why would they do all this universe building and all this world building just to go away? And think about it. You watch the show just like I watch the show. There's no real urgency in these episodes that are recently coming out. So I believe if this show was literally coming to an end forever, that there would be a sense of urgency and there would just be a different tone to the episodes that are coming out. The episodes that we're watching do not look like a show that is about to go away forever. They would be wrapping up the story. They would be wrapping up the whole arc of a series right now, not just in what's going on right now in Dragon Ball Super. If you understand what I'm saying, like, there's no way, shape, or form does it look like this is just ending everything. I don't believe the episodes would be going how they were going if these were going to be like the last few episodes ever. Also, Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball, just the series in general, there's just so many different directions they can go with it. I personally wouldn't mind even seeing 1 or 2 different series, like a spin-off series. Like, I don't know about you guys, I know I'm probably alone on this, but I love the Z Fighters. I love me some Tien, I love me some Yamcha, some Krillin, some Chaozu. I would like to see a spin-off series where there's a lot of, I mean, of course, a lot of action and stuff, but more grounded, to where everyone's not a god. Everyone's not as strong as Frieza. They're not able to destroy planets. But let's see Tien and Yamcha come together and protect Earth for a little bit. Let's do something like that. I think that would be a great branch off series, just to see the more human, down-to-earth aspect of things. Dragon Ball Z is a big universe, and they got all these characters to play with. I just feel like there's so much they can do. Also, for the new series, I wonder if all these different universes, maybe they can collide together and cause some type of friction. Who knows? There's just so many things that they can do with this, and there's no way it's ending. Now, I know a lot of you are worried, like wonder if something happens to Toriyama. What if something goes on? Have no fear. He already has a successor. He has a pupil who's been with him for years, who knows Dragon Ball just as much as he does. They're around each other a lot. I believe his name is Toriyama. I might be pronouncing it wrong, but look it up. He has a predecessor. He has a pupil. He has someone who's going to take the throne whenever he does feel like walking away from Dragon Ball Super. If he wakes up tomorrow, and he's already said in the interview, if for some reason he's done with Dragon Ball, if he's done with the stories that he has to tell, or if something happens to him, he's already named a predecessor. Now, you don't do that for something that you know is going to end. You only do that if you know this thing can keep going and going and going. Why would you have this pupil and this predecessor that you've just given an interview about last year that will take the mantle if something happens to you, or if you just creatively don't feel it anymore? So this guy will take over, and I'm telling you, it's in good hands. Do the research. He's been there since, like, I can't say since the very beginning, but he's been there forever, and I know he would do the show justice. So yeah, hopefully this information that I've relayed to you in this video will relieve your anxiety. It will make you feel a little bit better. You'll get out of that depression from thinking Dragon Ball Z is going away, your DBZ withdrawals, and you will just relax. Everything's going to be okay. In fact, the future of Dragon Ball has never looked brighter than what it does now. Yes, we'll have to go a little while without new episodes, but I'm already trained for that. Like I said, as a child, as a kid, I already got trained for the fact that I'm going to get a few episodes of Dragon Ball Z, and then I have to wait for months. And I know in today's day and age, everybody wants things right now, right away, but that's just not how things work all the way, especially when it comes to a creative process. But I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know what was really going on, and to help you guys relax, because I needed to relax myself. It's not going away, it's just on a hiatus. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I gave you some information that made you feel better, and hopefully you will take this video and realize when things go out of control on the internet and they start snowballing or whatever and getting bigger and bigger and bigger, just sit back, relax, do a little bit of research, and come to your own conclusion. Now, when you watch this video, if you feel differently than what I say, go on Google and just look it up. You know, you watch Dragon Ball Super, the episode's about 20-25 minutes. Spend about 20-25 minutes doing a little bit of research, and you will realize everything I told you is indeed true. But please give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to hit that share button. Share it with all the Dragon Ball Super fans you know, so they too can relax and not go crazy. Also, be sure to subscribe. I cannot stress that enough. Hit that subscribe button. You could join our Facebook group. It's called the Collectors Coalition. You could also follow me on Instagram at funkyopop_912. And as always, you have a good day, YouTube, and be sure to go pick up Dragon Ball FighterZ. Hands down, the best fighting game I have played since Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on Dreamcast.